Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon again to the physical audience that joining us. And for online audience, we see a couple of you already tuned in before the session, yeah? So, hi, good afternoon, Nita. Good afternoon, Zeph, Angel, Priest. Good afternoon, Wani, Vignes, and so much more. So if you are tuning in right now with us, do put your hi, hello, and tell us where you're tuning in from in the comment section, okay? Hi, CY, hi, Carla, and yes, we'll be able to see you live over here. So this is actually a hybrid session, and for those that joining us in the morning, you probably already know I am Chacha, and for those that just newly joined us, again, introducing myself, I'm Chacha, and I'm actually from DMC, and partnering with CDAC, I'll be your host for today's session. And in the morning, we actually joined through another sessions that's talking about Facebook. And this afternoon, it will be another session talking about the topic of best Instagram marketing tips. And this is actually with the theme of adapting and adopting to the new normal. Hybrid e-commerce education sessions is brought to you by the Selangor State Government together with CDAC. So we have invited various speakers, and there are a couple more modules and as well as topics that's upcoming in the future, which we'll be talking about live streaming as well as the future of digital transformation. But today, let us also have a look into another section as to how when marketing online through Instagram can actually benefit you for your business. And we have invited today in the afternoon, we have Mr. Jason Yim, and we have also Mr. Ronnie Chin and Miss Latashini that joining us to share their experience in terms of Instagram marketing tips, yeah? Oh, hi, I see more of you. Dimapil, hello, lunch was good, yeah? Join us next time in the physical session so we can have lunch together. Hi, Ku, hi, Kaishen, and good afternoon again for those that are joining us. And please help us to share this live right now out on our social media so that more your friends and family can benefit from this session, okay? And before we actually start to invite our first speaker of this afternoon, again would like to invite the PIC from CDAC, Encik Ikwan, to share with us a little bit about CDAC. Please put your hands together and give the time over to Encik Ikwan. Thank you.
Okay, first, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our coaches and all of the people that come up physical today. And also hi to you online virtual, whether you are tuning in from virtually or online or physical here. I would like to wish a warm welcome from CDAC and also from our partners today. So basically, today's evening session will be on best Instagram marketing tips. Sorry, thank you, Chacha. So for today's afternoon session, we'll be on the best Instagram marketing tips. For last morning, we have heard about Facebook ads preparation, and for this evening, we will hear about best Instagram marketing tips. But before that, I also saw quite new faces here. So for the participants that come early in the morning, maybe you can stay back at your seats. So I will explain about CDAC to our newcomers here. All right. Introduction to CDAC. Firstly, maybe some of you have heard about CDAC before. So before this, CDAC are called Selangor IT and E-Commerce Council, stand for CTEC. And in the early year 2021, we have rebranded to CDAC. So CDAC mainly, the idea why CDAC developed is because we want to urge the SME and entrepreneurs in the Selangor State Government to go digital. Okay, here are some programs that CDAC have developed before that in the year 2021. So you can see that these are Selangor onboarding program, Selangor Asset program, Selangor Smart City Convention. This is our annual convention which we will hold every October. And this is Selangor eBazaar 2020 campaign, and finally it's the Top E-Commerce Merchant Awards. There are a lot of other programs, but from these 5 programs we have generated to the economic impact of 245 million ringgit in Malaysia, only from Selangor State. Hi Kulkaur, thank you. Okay, next is our ecosystem and the target audience. So who are our ecosystem and target audience? So who are our player? You can see that there are 3 cycles, there are 3 entities and look like a cycle here. So the e-commerce, second is the startups and SME. So basically these 3 entities need each other, and you can see that the startups will help the SME in order to help them onboard on the e-commerce, because the startup will act as the TSP or the technology service provider, which will help the SME in order to improve the sales and simplify the business process. So likewise, the e-commerce also will help the SME, but the startups also will help the SME by helping them to save costs, increase efficiency, and also generate extra income. Okay, here is the stages of the entrepreneurial cultivation, the 3 phases that CDEC will face in order to develop all of our programs. And the first one is the talent skilling, upskilling, and reskilling. So the first phase is what are the programs that developed in the first phase is the program that you are currently joining in, which is the Selangor e-commerce onboarding program. So last time we have the free Selangor e-commerce class, and in this year we have rebranded the Selangor e-commerce class to the Selangor e-commerce education program. Moving forward, after you have learned about this, how to skill or how to upskill and reskill your e-commerce knowledge, we will move to the adoption and onboarding program. And some of the programs that we develop in this phase is the Selangor e-commerce onboarding program. Finally, we develop a program that will help you to expose your brand and scaling Inspire with success stories. So I will explain later about the programs that you can see in these phases. Okay, entering the interesting part. So what are the key e-commerce programs that we have developed? The first one is the program that you are currently joining in, and the program that are currently running is the Selangor e-commerce education program. So the Selangor e-commerce education program, you can see that the theme that we have come up with this year is the adopting and adapting to the new normal. You can see that nowadays people start selling online, people start selling through live streaming apart from the conventional way. So we have come up with 5 modules, and the module we are moving step by step, starting from the introduction to the e-commerce business. And moving forward, after you have learned about the introduction, we will move to the product planning and preparation. And now we are currently on the marketing and promotion tools. So next, in the 14 June, we will move to the reach and engage more customers through live streaming. In this module, you will learn about how to do the live streaming. Finally, we also added a new element, which is the future of digital transformation. You can see that there are 5 topics about the advanced learning about the technologies. So for you out there, for you who are joining us, whether you are scrolling and suddenly stop at the Selangor e-commerce education class and you are yet to register for this program, and also for participants who are joining us physically here and you are yet to register for our upcoming classes, please do register, because this is a great initiative from the Selangor State Government for you to learn e-commerce classes for free. Okay, next is the Selangor e-commerce onboarding program, the program that I mentioned just now, which we will onboard you, or we have chosen only 100 merchants in the Selangor State Government that are registered, their business addresses are registered in Selangor. We will give you 100 free e-commerce websites and also e-commerce web store for you to start to sell online. So we know that the prices or the cost to maintain the hosting and also to use the web domain is quite costly, around hundreds to thousands, right? But if you enter the Selangor e-commerce onboarding program, we will give you a free website and the place to sell in the marketplace for free for 2 years. So here, there are some criteria that in order for you to join this program, such as example, your business address, must be registered in Selangor, and also you must at least have 15 SKUs of your products. Okay, this is the Jelajah Usahawan Digital Selangor. Maybe some of you are aware about the entertainment Jelajah, such as the Jom Heboh or the Era FM Jelajah, right? But they are the entities that will bring the artists or the local influencers for them to expose the entertainment. But in the Jelajah Usahawan Digital Selangor, we bring the e-commerce experts, e-commerce practitioners, and we also bring our partners such as Ija Selangor, Shopee, Lazada, SSM, and a lot more partners that are involved in the e-commerce industry. We bring them to the places outside of the urban areas. So we bring them to the rural areas and also the place that are quite far from the city. So you can see that last time we have done in Gombak, which was officiated by the YB Menteri Besar Selangor, Datuk Amiruddin Syari. And last Saturday, we also have ended our second series at the Hulu Selangor. And upcoming, next month, we will have our next series at the Kuala Selangor. So for you out there who want to learn more about e-commerce and want to meet the exhibitors, because at the Jelajah itself, we will open about 10 to 15 booths that will be managed by our partners such as Shopee, Lazada. So if you participants out there that want to join this program, you can meet them directly at the booth. Okay, and finally is the program of the Malaysia Top E-Commerce Merchant Awards. So the idea behind the Malaysia Top E-Commerce Merchant Award is we want to give the branding exposure. So for you out there who are seller out there, that want to participate in this program, you can tune into our Facebook. Later we will announce when we will open the program. So the idea behind the Malaysia Top E-commerce Merchant Award is we know that there are several top products in the Shopee, Lazada, but do we know who are the sellers behind the product? And when you enter this program, we will evaluate you based on your sales, based on your websites, and also based on there are certain criteria that we will evaluate, and maybe you will be crowned as the next Malaysia Top E-commerce Merchant. So last year we have received around 181 participants that compete to be the top e-commerce merchant, and there are several entry criteria that you must obey in order to join this program. The first one is your e-commerce store must have been in operation before March 2022 and must sell product end-to-end to end user only. So only B2C merchants that can enter. And you must achieve at least minimum of 25,000 ringgit Malaysia in sales, or minimum of 100 orders in any single month between June 2021 to June 2022. So your e-commerce store also must be registered under SSM, and there are certain documentation that will be required as a proof and should be uploaded inside the online registration form. Apart from you join this program and you will compete, we also will provide the top 3 winners. So last time we provide the top 3 winners a platform, our own setup studio, to do the live streaming in order to promote your product or to sell your product online. So you can see that these are our top 3 winners last time. They are Pro DIY, SNS Network, Stock and Go. So I think some of you who are joining us physically and online also have participated in this program before. So you can see that from this 3-hour session from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m, the total sales generated from these 3 companies only have generated up to 1.6 million ringgit in Malaysia. So that's a quite huge figure for the 3 companies in order to get those sales from on these 3 live streaming session only. So for you out there, the merchants out there, maybe you have your own product and you sell online, and you are encouraged to join this program because maybe you will be announced as the next Malaysia Top E-commerce Merchant. Okay, this is for you that are watching us through virtually, and also for participants who are joining physically also that are interested to join our Selangor e-commerce onboarding program. If you already have your own products, you already sell online, but you are yet to have your own website, please do register, do scan here. If you are using your iPhone, you can open your camera, show, and then there will be a pop-up. And if you are using your Android phone, maybe you can open your Facebook and search for QR scanner and you can scan. So I think that's all from me. And please, for the participants that are joining us physical and virtually, please do lend your ears to our speakers later, because this will be a great session later. Okay, back to you, Chacha. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Encik Ikon. Thank you. And yeah, so there are a lot of initiative by the Selangor State Government and as well as CDEC as well. So for this session, as all of you have seen, is actually on e-commerce education. Yeah. So today we will still be talking about in terms of promotion and marketing tools. And this afternoon, as mentioned, it will be on Instagram. So for those that just joined us, hi Jarrison, hi. And then if you can hear us all right, because Mr. Cool, you mentioned that the voice is a little bit low. So for online audience, if you can hear me all right, can you please type a 1 into the comment box so we know that you can hear us good, yeah? Okay, so yeah, and this CDEC e-commerce education sessions is open for all those that just wanted to start business, or either you have involved in e-commerce. So do sit in, share out to your friends and family, because we're sure that all the experience from our speakers will benefit you. And without further ado, that this first speaker that we're going to invite will be Mr. Jason Yim. He's actually from White Souls Consultancy, and a little bit of background for Mr. Jason here. Mr. Jason, who is actually a marketing strategist, and that he has helped a lot of clients in planning and managing their digital advertising campaigns. And with over 7 years of experience in planning and running all the campaigns across multiple channels such as Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and programmatic, Mr. Jason has broken multiple digital acquisition records for clients by implementing brilliant basics and delivering all the world-class execution. And today he's here to share with us. On top of that, Mr. Jason, in 2020, he was nominated as the Digital Person of the Year by Malaysian Digital Association. We're so pleased to have him joining us, and please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Jason. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you so much, Chacha, for the introduction. So, my name is Jason. The slide up. The slide's not up, right? Cool. So it's always challenging to do the afternoon session because it's always right after lunch. Everyone's sleepy. Are you guys sleepy or awake? All right. Yeah. So today we'll be talking about the best Instagram marketing tips, and we'll go through some of the basics, right? Some of the agenda for today, we'll run through content planning tips, some of the Instagram features, best practices for your Instagram, how to create engaging photos and videos, and of course, what are the types of engaging content and examples that you can actually look at and refer to for your future social media as well, right? So before we start, just wanted to get a feel of the room and even those online as well. How many of you here are business owners, right? Business owners, okay. How many of you are marketers, right? Okay. How about the rest? Students, okay. All right. Cool. So just wanted to understand as well, where are we? So today, we're going through some of the basics of Instagram, so nothing too difficult or too advanced. But of course, at the end of that, there'll be Q&A. So if you want to ask some harder questions or some questions that personally you need to look at, feel free to ask ahead as well, right? So who am I? So thank you, Chacha, already for the introduction. But yeah, just quickly recap that as well. So I run strategy for my agency, White Source Consultancy. Previously, in my corporate agency, we managed over 10 million in ad spend. I'm a first Facebook certified lead trainer as well. There's 30 of us here in Malaysia. And as Chacha mentioned, MDA Digital Person of the Year in 2020, nominated for that. And I also mentor for Axiata as well as ASEC programs, basically for their student programs as well. Okay. Some of the case studies I do write, some long form things, just thoughts off my head, right? So basically, it's on my website, jsim.co. It's also on my LinkedIn. I wrote about how I growth hacked my own LinkedIn in 30 days, basically growing my LinkedIn to a pretty sizable profile as well. I wrote about for Shopee Super Brand Day from an e-commerce perspective. We did $1.7 million in 2 days. And also how I built a targeted email database through Instagram as well, right? So some of the things additionally you can check out ahead. Cool. So some content planning tips we can go for, right? I just wanted to get a feel of the crowd as well. So out of all the businesses that you followed or even influencers, what's the best Instagram page you are currently following right now? The Cristo? Yeah, Cristo was a really good one as well. Yeah. Anyone else? All the Instagram pages are pretty lousy there. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's very important as well, even as a business, to actually look at what are the kind of pages that you follow, because these pages are also acting as inspiration for your own business. Look at people within your industry as well who are the kind of competitors, especially as well. What can you take away? What can you learn from them? And what can you implement in your business, right? Because every business is very specific, and there's no so-called one right answer for every single business. So the first thing first, from a content planning, I mean, this sounds basic in a way, but this is also very important. So SMART goals, right? Setting SMART goals. So how many of you here know what SMART goals are? Yeah, right. So SMART goals basically stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Okay, so specific goals, which means what exactly are you trying to achieve? So when you're creating content, when you're doing your Instagram page, you got to think about what is it exactly you're trying to achieve, right? And not just post, randomly here and there, because you also need to know what's the goal of creating the Instagram account, what's the goal of building the Instagram account. Measurable, right? How will you know when you achieve it? Is it when you gain 100 followers? Is it when you gain 100 comments? What is exactly the goal that you want to hit, right? Attainable. Is it genuinely possible to achieve it, right? If you have 0 followers today and you say, I want 1 million followers tomorrow, is that really attainable, right? So you got to ask yourself as well, how realistic is the goal? And of course, how do you want to get there? Relevance as well. Does it actually contribute to your business growth? If you have 1 million followers but 0 revenue, then is there really a point in running the Instagram page, right? So it has to also be relevant to your bottom line. And of course, time bound. By when do you want to achieve it? So again, as I mentioned, if you want 1 million followers by tomorrow and you only have 100 today, is it really realistic, right? So let's take a look at putting this together in an example, right? Again, very specific to Instagram. The SMART goal would be Specific, you want to grow your Instagram followers. That's the specific goal you want to do, right? Measurable, you want to gain 100 new followers a week, right? Attainable, currently you're already gaining 50 new followers, so another 50 more, it should be possible, right? Based on what you're doing and you're ramping up whatever that you're doing. Relevant, because growing these followers will eventually convert to sales, and you're seeing sales coming in as well through your followers that you're currently gaining. And of course, lastly, time bound. By when do you want to achieve this? And for example, this would be in 1 month time. Okay. Next thing from a content planning will be also understanding your target audience. When you're creating content, you will need to know who you're creating for, right? Because creating content for, the different kind of demographics and different kind of audience is very different, right? So who is it exactly that you're speaking to? So you got to craft out your target audience and understand who is this that you're actually trying to talk to and who is this that are you trying to speak to. So in this case, developing an audience persona, it's basically a fictional representation of your ideal customer. So think about your ideal customer, right? People who are buying your product or your service, who are they? And how do you then speak to them that's relevant and they will be resonating with your message? So these kind of factors come into play, things like age, right? The gender, income, location, the occupation, the level of education they have, right? Marital status, religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation. So these are things that you can use to actually build up your customer profile as well, right? So an example here of an audience persona might be a little bit small. So I'll just run through. So for example, you're selling an athletic shoes, right? Selling, running shoes, for example. And your audience persona here would be, for example, you're thinking they're a young demographic, right? Age 18 to 29, for example. Their gender slightly skewed male, more 60% male. So these are, more male people are buying athletic shoes. The key psychographics is these kind of people, they want to look stylish, but not necessarily want to drop, $1,000 on a shoe, right? So how do we look stylish but at the same time an affordable price? Some of the challenges that these people may be facing, right? Finding footwear that's stylish and comfortable, it's a challenge for them, right? They can't find this kind of shoes that they want, right? They love the look of designer shoes, but they might not necessarily be able to afford them. So based on factors like these, then how can you craft that kind of persona? Also think about where do they hang out, right? If let's say their preferred channel is on Instagram, right? They are using Instagram a lot, then of course that's where you also want to be. On the other hand, if let's say they do use, maybe they watch YouTube more, then of course that's where you want to be focused on. So there's no right or wrong, you just got to think about your audience persona and how do you reach out to them. All right, and from a content planning as well as creating a content calendar. So content calendar is very important from a planning standpoint, simply because it makes your workflow very seamless. Right? Imagine if today you're busy with your business, you're doing your day-to-day and suddenly, oh, I forgot to post my Instagram post today. Okay, what to post today? And you're gonna go scramble up, do Photoshop, right? Then after that, okay, what do I post today? So that makes life very difficult, right? Because you then have to scramble and do, and then you got to think, oh, what do I post tomorrow then? I just posted this today. So creating a content calendar, usually we do this from a monthly basis, will help you ease your workflow and will help you understand what kind of content you're going to post and plan out your content for the next month easily, right? So let's say Hari Raya is coming up, you already know that, okay, I want to slot in this kind of post for Hari Raya. Chinese New Year is coming up, so you're going to slot in this post for Chinese New Year. You know that Mother's Day is coming up and your products are very good from a gifting standpoint. So you want to have this kind of post planned out as well. So creating a content calendar, usually we feed in a few key things, right? The dates, of course, the posting dates very important so that you know when it's coming up and you know how many days beforehand you need to prepare those posts, right? The theme of those posts, for example, like I mentioned, Mother's Day, Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, things like that. What are the things that you're going to talk about? Or could it be even just your sales offer itself, right? I'm having a promotion this week. The platform that you're going to post in, so let's say it's Facebook, Instagram, or if let's say you're going to do TikTok, right? Things like that. The format as well. Is it going to be a photo? Is it going to be a video? Is it going to be IG story? You want to do a live as well. So these are things to also think about and put into consideration. The visual image, so roughly what kind of visual that you're thinking about. So of course, again, Hari Raya, you're going to put, ketupat, right? The images of family balik kampung, things like that. And then of course, the caption, roughly what do you want to talk about in that post for that caption, right? So if there's anything to take away, I think this is one of the most important things as well for today, which is to think about content calendar and plan your content upcoming so that you don't rush and scramble towards building the content on the day itself, right? Okay, so we'll go through a little bit of some of the Instagram features. I think for those of you who use Instagram very often, this might be pretty simple, but we can look at it from a business angle as well. How do we think about it slightly differently, right? So feed posts, so for example, this is for Nilofa, one of our clients. Basically, if you think about your feed post, it's what appears on your profile and in your followers' feed. And you have to think about it as represents your virtual storefront, right? So imagine if you're a retail shop, right? You have a physical store shop. What do you actually put the products in front there, right? Because these are what your customers that walk past see. So if you think about the Instagram feed, it's the same thing, right? When I'm scrolling past, this is what I'm seeing. So same thing as when you're a retail shop, if people walk past, what are they seeing? So this is very important because it represents your brand as well, and it's something that people see as they open their feed and as they open their Instagram, right? Stories. So IG stories basically are full screen vertical photos or videos viewable for 24 hours. So the benefits of stories is that because it's short form and because it's also only 24 hours, it means that you can post a little bit more there as well. And also you can have it more as an interaction with your current followers. Because most followers currently, the behavior-wise, they engage a lot more with stories because you can do things like posts, you can do things like Q&A and all that. So you can actually play with it a little bit more, the stickers, elements, and then your customers can actually engage with you more directly, and you can build a relationship with your customers a lot more closer with them. Reels. So Reels are basically the new TikTok. Not the new TikTok, but basically the Instagram of TikTok, right? So short discoverable videos that appear on your profile in the Reels tab. Basically, these are how Instagram is going in TikTok. But yeah, I mean, since we're here, just to have a show of hands, how many of you use TikTok? Just curious. Okay. How many of you use Reels? Okay, so about the same, I think. Right, cool. So yeah, basically for Reels, it's basically how you actually interact with customers as well. And Reels is actually something that Facebook and Instagram is actually pushing out a lot more lately. And so the organic reach, which is how many people that will actually see your posts, is actually a lot higher these days compared to the other formats, right, of your feed and your stories. So if you want to take advantage of what Facebook is trying to push now, this is actually a format to try to work on, because this format will allow you to grow your account a lot faster if you manage to crack the code in terms of what people are looking for from their video when consuming Instagram Reels, right? IG Live, right? So IG Live, basically you're broadcasting live with your entire community and of course having interaction. So how does Instagram Live fit in is basically you're trying to get people all at once together in a certain time through, of course, their mobile phone. And from there, you can actually do things, either just build a community, do Q&A kind of things, right? And interact with them if you have a large enough community. Or the second thing would be live selling, right? Basically, like what was shown earlier, in 2 hours, you can make thousands in terms of sales. And that's what a lot of clients as well do, because when they do the live streaming selling, people are very engaged, they're there, and they're a lot more willing to also buy from you, right? So the key is then how do you think about getting them towards the IG Live and attending the IG Live, right? And of course, video. So video is basically just your normal IG video posts. So making your long form videos discoverable in your profile. You can also tag actually product tags onto the products that appears in your video. So this would then link up to your e-commerce platforms, and then actually you can sell from there. So what this does is you can do, if let's say you're selling fashion products, right? You can just be a person walking on the runway, and then they tag actually the things that are wearing on the outfit. You can click on that. Okay, I like that guy's pants, right? So click at the pants and then go to the shop, and immediately you can check out and purchase from there. So it gives a very end-to-end journey from there, because you actually can straight away tag, can straight away click on whatever that you like, and then of course go and purchase from there. All right, so that's some Instagram features, the basic things. Let's go into a little bit of best practices as well to keep your Instagram account up and healthy. So using high quality photos and videos. I think this is pretty straightforward as well, using high quality photos and videos. So if you imagine as well from a retail shop standpoint, if you're putting out, the boxes that are already crumpled, right? Boxes that are old, boxes that are dirty, your packaging is not nice. Would people actually enter your store and buy? It's kind of the same thing as well. So if you have low quality videos and photos, it's kind of like you're just showing the not nice parts of your products to your customers. So you want to think about actually putting very nice, high quality pictures and videos, because that's ultimately how people are consuming Instagram, right? Because when they see something, oh, looks pretty, right? Oh, looks nice. Okay, let me check it out. But if it's not, then they're most likely going to scroll past by, right? Make the post actionable. So making post actionable is basically to ensure that people are actually interacting with you. And when you make post actionable, this actually increases your engagement as well and your loyalty towards your brand. So for example, you can say like, come check out our restaurant. If you comment below, tag 2 friends, and you can actually earn a voucher off when you come to our restaurant today. So by making post actionable, you're actually creating more engagement, you're creating more hype. And in that case, you can also build a little bit of virality into your post as well. And keep it simple. So the post doesn't have to contain a lot of things. Best to actually contain only one key message that you're trying to deliver across. If you have a lot of things, a lot of words in your pictures and posts, you actually make people a little bit confused as to what you're trying to say. And then from there, they might just skip and scroll past, right? So if you look at the example, this one where there's a lot of text in the picture versus something like this, where there's no text, it just straight away says 20% off in the picture. It's a lot easier to consume. It's a lot easier to understand. And of course, pictures and videos are what Instagram is all about. Okay. And of course, keeping the account active, right? Because if your account isn't active and when people go to your Instagram page and they see, last post was 3 months ago, right? They probably think this shop closed down already. Right? Especially after MCO, I had a lot of trouble because I have to search for the place that I want to go, and I see last post 2 months ago, are they still open, right? Because, after MCO. But yeah, so when keeping your post active, you know that they're still open. Hey, we're open even after all this, right? And then it's easier for customers to actually go as well. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier as well, so using captions to encourage action. So you get people interested to actually your post, right? You can keep it concise. Additionally, what you can do is actually also tag people and location. So if you have people that you're working with, you can tag them and tag the locations, and also, of course, using hashtags, right? So these are the things that will actually help to boost your posts a little bit more by using these key features as well. So when you talk about adding hashtags to reach more people, it's because some people search for things on Instagram through hashtags, right? Like food in KL, right? If let's say I'm looking for something, I'm not sure what to eat, I search a hashtag food in KL, right? So when you look at using hashtags, always try to use something that's a little bit more specific rather than just saying foodie, right? You could say something like foodies of Instagram, or let's say instead of, if you run a restaurant, instead of just saying restaurant, right? Your hashtag can be Mediterranean restaurant. Because this becomes more specific, and when the user searches, they're more likely to click. When they're more likely to click, they'll see a page. And of course, if your page is nice, your food looks good, then they're more likely to then visit your restaurant at the end of the day, right? So basically through these posts and through these hashtags is where people can discover your brand as well. Because otherwise then it's only towards your own followers that will actually know about your brand. And of course, lastly will be the Instagram insights. So from an insights perspective, this is actually where you look at the data and we can measure the effectiveness of your content. So from an Instagram insights perspective, here's where you see how many people have you reached, how many people have engaged with you, and from, let's say, your IG story, how many people have actually interacted with your story, clicked on certain buttons, and things like that. So when you look at the insights, this is how you actually generate the next plan or the next strategy for your next course of action, right? Because if you don't know what works, then how will you actually improve your own content? So if you actually look at the insights and you know which kind of content does well, then you can start producing more of those kind of content as well. Right, so let's get into the creating engaging photos and videos, right? How do we create engaging photos and videos for your followers to actually consume, right? So an effective visual basically can encourage people to think about something, feel something, or actually take an action. So when you look at a visual, is it striking enough for them to actually have either one of these three responses, right? Do they think about something? Do they feel something? Or do they then take an action, right? So when your visual is crafted around this objective, it will be a lot more straightforward in terms of getting them to actually do something, right? And when they do something, then that will eventually lead to sales, right? So you have to think about also from a brand personality standpoint, right? How do you establish a brand personality? And how do you share what makes your business unique, right? So in a sea of yellow ducks, if you're the purple duck, then you're of course the one that's most outstanding, right, from the crowd. So when you think about your feed as well, what kind of brand proposition that you're planning, and of course, what's your brand stand for and your brand personality going to be? tailor your content for your audience. So as I mentioned earlier as well, basically if your audience are a different kind of group of people, they would need different kind of messaging and different kind of way to communicate with them, right? Communicating with someone who's 20-year-old versus someone who's 50-year-old is going to be way different. And the post type should also be catered to them accordingly as well. Developing a consistent look and feel for your account. So this is again in line with your brand personality and your brand proposition. When you have a consistent look and feel across your account, it makes your account looks good. It's kind of like when you think about a retail shop as well. When you enter the retail shop, everything looks in a similar way, rather than it's like entering a warehouse where everything is like all messy. So same thing with the account feed as well, right? Having them doing that would actually help to create a more holistic approach and a holistic color for your brand. Communicate one main message or idea. So this is again, like what I mentioned earlier. Every post should communicate only one main message or idea. If you have too many things in one post, people get confused. What are they supposed to do with this post? What are they supposed to do when looking at this? So when you communicate only one message and one point, it gets the point across pretty well, and it gets the point across better. They understand things better and they know what they're supposed to do. Right? If you say get 20% off when you reply to us, right? Then that's easy. But you say get 20% off when you like, share, comment, subscribe, and tag 2 friends. Then like, wow, there's so many things to do, right? So having that in mind, usually the simpler the action, the better, because then it helps users to actually produce the action a lot easier as well. So sharing content through a variety of formats. So as the formats that I mentioned earlier, right? You have your feed, story, reels, video. So why do you share content through a variety of formats? Because every format is different and every format serves a different purpose. So again, the feed is like your virtual storefront. Your story is how you talk to your customers on a day-to-day basis, right? When they come into your store, you talk to them and you interact and engage with them. Then of course, your reels is where you start to grow outside your base because you can reach a lot more people outside as well. And then of course, so on and so forth. So when you use all the different kind of formats, that's where you're actually fully utilizing Instagram's full capability as well. Using time as a creative element. So one of a creative tip basically is when you do, let's say, product launches, and you say, hey, launching in 5 days, watch this space. You build up anticipation and hype for your product and your brand. And from there, then people will actually be more inclined to actually pay more attention to your profile as well, because they want to know, hey, what's coming up, right? What's going to be the next thing that this brand is going to be launching? So when you create using time as a creative element, this helps to make people a little bit more engaged and a little bit more paying attention to your business and to your page as well. Editing your photos and videos for a consistent look and feel. So basically, these are some of the photo enhancing and video enhancing apps that you can use. These are free apps, right? Ripple, Unfold, Adobe as well, right? Video Shop, Mojo. So these kind of apps help you create a consistent tone and look and feel for your brand. So that again, from a visual standpoint across your page, it will look consistent across. You can even use something as simple as just one filter for the entire, for all your page, because then it gives your entire brand the same look and feel, right? When you do product photography as well, you can actually do a DIY in-home studio to capture your visuals in a control setting. So if you want maybe everything to have a white background, white layout, right? It's very simple, right? You have a phone, which I think everyone has a phone. Just get a mini tripod, some paper, foam core, natural light. So this actually basically can help you build a little mini studio as well. And when you can do your product photography in a very controlled setting, so that, it's not like, oh, too dark, too bright, things like that. So when you build a controlled setting, you can take the pictures anytime as well. You can also create different types of posts to showcase the business. So as I mentioned again, the different kind of posts is actually what would help people look at your business in different ways as well. And of course, grabbing attention, right? So attention is currently the thing that's hardest to build. So when you grab attention through simple photography techniques, for example, like this, where you see the shoe floating there, you're like, wow, okay, why is this shoe floating? So it's what we call stopping the scroll. So when you're scrolling on your Instagram, scrolling your feed, what kind of visual effects that can actually help make people stop, look, and of course, when they look, then they consume your message and they understand your brand better as well. Right, so some video creation tips as well. Again, as I mentioned, stopping the scroll. So how do you capture attention in the first 3 seconds? People are very short attention span. When they look at your video, if it doesn't hook them in the first 3 seconds, they're most likely going to scroll away, right? So what can you do to actually make them pay attention to your video and watch your video throughout and long way as well? Keep video length under 15 seconds. So this is basically best practice from a Facebook and Instagram perspective is because people's attention span is shorter. So how do you make sure that your video is concise enough so that people can pay attention and watch it throughout and actually consume the entire message as well? Designing for sound off. So unlike YouTube, where for YouTube it's always about sound on because you're watching YouTube, you're going to listen, you're going to watch whatever that it is you're sitting down to watch. Facebook and Instagram is usually sound off, which means that most likely you're on the go, you're in a train, you're in a car, or maybe maybe you're here as well, you're looking at your phone, right? You're scrolling, and you're most likely having your phone on silent mode, right, with sound off. So in that case, when you design a video with sound on, which means that let's say it has a dialogue and you don't put subtitles, people don't understand what your video is talking about because their sound is not on and they'll probably scroll past. But adding things like subtitles will help because then, even though without a sound, they can actually understand what's your brand message and they're trying to understand what your video is trying to convey as well. Shoot videos vertically, right? So for video creation as well, especially because you can use, again, for reels, for stories, by shooting videos vertically, you take out the full screen of the phone, and from there you are maximizing what we call the virtual real estate. So when you have your full screen video consuming, it looks very nice as well. And of course, you get more real estate since you're posting it anyway already. Right. So some story creation tips. So for IG story, basically utilize again the full vertical retail space, right? So if you're having a photo that's only a small square piece, then you're not maximizing it. So when you maximize it, again, it looks nicer. You use out the full space and consumers look at it a lot better as well. Making sure that stories are interactive. So again, use all the features that Instagram has given you, right? So Q&A, polls, stickers, all these things will help you interact more with your audience. And again, the interaction with your audience is what builds and grow your engagement with your community. Surprise and delight. So having different kind of things to actually surprise your customers. So for example, in this case, using a puzzle, right, on your story, so then people start interacting and they say, oh, what's this all about? It's not just another plain old, ad or plain old image, but they actually get to do something and interact with your brand as well. Right, so those are some of the tips basically to create engaging content. So now I'll go into the last portion, which is basically what are the types of engaging content to think about in terms of the angle, content angle you can think about, and some of the brands who have done it pretty well as well. So for one, trending topics, I think many people remember the Dalgona coffee. Back then when the first MCO first came out, right, Nescafe and a lot of coffee brands actually hop on it. So when you write on trending topics, this is how you can get exposure faster as well, because things go viral a lot easier as well. So writing on trending topics is a good way to slot into your regular content calendar posts. So while trending topics is a bit difficult to predict in that sense when you plan out content calendar, but this is a little bit more of a act fast, act quick. Let's quickly slot that in and then write on this trend. Right? So more exposure from trending topics equals to more people knowing about your brand, equals to, in the end, more sales for you as well. Some information and educational topics based on the kind of industry or kind of business that you're in. So for this example, Zeus Coffee, when they create this post, right, what kind of coffee connoisseur are you, right? So they talk about the different kind of coffee, right? What is an espresso? What's an Americano? What's a daily brew? What's a latte? What's the difference? And here they educate the customers about it. So while this doesn't directly, impact them in terms of bringing sales, but this brings value to the page. And when it brings value to the page, it means that people are more likely to also follow them for more, tips and educational content in the future that they will post as well. Right? So some testimonials and reviews. So this is basically either from a customer perspective, it could be from an employee perspective, but this helps bring the brand a little bit more to the ground in terms of having actually the person who uses the product or the person who actually is selling the product and bring them to life, right? So in this case, you actually get to know the brand a little bit more deeper on a personal level. And from there, then you're actually able to build trust with the brand better as well. Some user-generated content. So some pretty good things that you can do is, let's say if a user actually using your product, your brand, they post it, they tag you, you can actually repost it, with their permission, of course. So you can see, we caught a glimpse of this person donning their product. So from there, then the person will actually also feel happy, right? They say, because this brand actually reposts my post and they actually notice me. And then, of course, from the brand itself, you're happy that the person is loving your product and actually using your product as well. A how-to guide. So a how-to guide is basically how to use a certain thing, how to do a certain thing. So in this case, for Maybank, it's about how they talk about how to register the business. So they do a little gif of the steps to take to register the business. So doing a how-to guide is a bit similar to the educational content, but basically a bit more focused and specific towards taking a specific action for the users, right? So if let's say it's, again, restaurant business, a how-to guide simply means how do you get to your restaurant if let's say it's a bit difficult to find, right? So it's just a simple, like, okay, walk through this part, turn left and then you can find a restaurant here. So having a how-to guide makes things easier for the customers as well. Using influencers. So again, when you use influencers, this helps you to reach more organically, reach more new audiences because you're tapping onto the influencers audience. So using influencers, very importantly, is to find out whether these influencers are even relevant to your brand in the first place, right? If you're selling, mom product and then you use a guy to promote, then of course, it doesn't really make sense. So make sure the influencers are aligned with your brand before you use them. And of course, see whether they allow you to actually post and repost their content back to your page as well. So very similar to user-generated content. The main difference is, of course, influencer is most likely a paid post or paid sponsorship, whereby user-generated content is the user themselves happily go and post about you and about your brand. Right. So from a promotional content perspective as well. So promotional content, I think, pretty straightforward. So it's a percentage off, right? Buy one, free one. What kind of lucky draw giveaway that you can do as well. So promotional content, usually it's what can drive a lot of hype in the short term. But of course, then it doesn't really help in the long term if you keep doing promotional content. So you want to space promotional content in between all the other contents as well. So just an example from a case study. This is from a global brand, right? So Gymshark. If you heard of Gymshark, they are athlete wear. So kind of like Nike, but very focused towards people who like to go to the gym. They are now $1.3 billion brand, and they grow. Their primary channel was actually through Instagram, right? So when you look at their whole Instagram page, it's basically built off of a very fixed content strategy. You can see the content team very fixed and similar across their entire feed. You can see that they use a lot of influencers. They use a lot of user-generated content, testimonials, reviews. So this helps keep the brand very local in terms of who actually uses that product. People are more than happy to actually talk about the product by themselves, right? You don't need to pay me. I want to talk about a product. I want to be part of the brand. So they build a very strong community around their brand. And as a result, of course, the business booms and, becomes really successful. We also have, from a local perspective, right, homegrown brand Nilofa. Homegrown brand Nilofa, of course, have the power of Nilofa herself, which is a celebrity herself. So in that case, but if you look at their social media posts as well, very much a lot of different formats to keep their content engaging, right? They have their sales, they have their Q&As, they have, the different kind of things that they do. And you can actually refer to see how they actually run a very good content marketing strategy. All right, so yeah, that's basically what I have for today. And yeah, I love to keep in touch with you guys, so you can reach me on Facebook or LinkedIn. That's where I'm mainly at. And yeah, we can, I think, do the Q&A session later as well, right? Yeah, all right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Jason. Yeah. Thanks for sharing a lot of things. But actually, for those audience as well, physical audience, if you have any questions, you want to interact with our speakers on the spot, you can actually raise your hand. And for Jason Knowledge, there are a couple of good questions that I see actually on the comments. Yeah. So from Color Fanny, and also I think Dima Piel. Yeah. So we will take your questions and direct to Mr. Jason during the Q&A sessions later. Okay. So do hold on to that. And for, all the audience just joining us online, as well as physical audience, any of the questions, list them down during Q&A. We'll post it to our speakers. For online audience, take this chance to interact as much, okay? So for our upcoming speakers, if any of you would like to answer the questions, seeing from the comments, you can also do so. Yeah. So without further ado, I will have this opportunity to invite our second speaker of this afternoon, which will be Mr. Roni. Mr. Roni is the GM of Primal. So a little bit of background for everyone here. Yeah. So Mr. Roni, who is highly experienced in the digital industry and implementation of digital strategy for over 13 years. So all of them are very, very experienced speakers of today. So you can use this chance to ask more difficult questions. Okay. So he has begun his career in the mobile industry, technology industry as a business developer before transitioning into the agency world. And along with his experience and expertise in digital planning, cross-channel strategy, and business development, he possesses strong entrepreneurial skills too. So let us right now put our hands together and welcome Mr. Ronnie. Time is all yours. Thank you.
Actually, right, I try to present as much as possible because Jason actually covered most of it. So yeah, I'm Ronnie. So if you have any question, you can ask me. But today I will not go very technical. So basically, it's just on the marketing tips. Without further ado, I will not intro so much of the agency that I've been running right now. Our agency actually goal is to drive SME business in terms of return of advertising spend. So that's what we do for the past 2 years in Malaysia. So in everything we do, before I come into Facebook or Instagram tips, right? In digital world ecosystem, please do bear in mind, beside Jason tips in terms of creative, content planning and so on, you do need to understand the ecosystem of how it works. Because every single platform does help each another. Website is, Google My Business, please set it up because it's important, and so on and so forth. So the reason why you need to have that is the more coverage you have, the more publicity you will generate in the future long run. So that's how organic works, and thus it also derives into pay media as well. So this one, I mean, you can snap picture. If you're anything, you can just talk to me. I will just share every single thing because digital has no secret recipe. It's all about test, optimize, evaluate, and redo everything again. That's how the brand goes. Okay, so in layman term, I try to not to explain by one by text, right? In actual fact, if you have like the first speaker mentioned about a website, please do embark into that opportunity because it really helps a lot in your business the next couple of 6 months. If you are a startup, maybe you don't see it because Instagram is the way to grow your publicity, but you do need the website. It's like your storefront concept store. If you don't have it, then you just have Instagram. People might reluctant to look into your brand, so try to have all those coverage. So if you look into it, right, there's organic and pay. Organic means you don't have to spend anything, but once you set up in terms of website, Facebook, Instagram, give about a tick or two, about a month when people search for your product or your brand name, it will appear in Google search result. So that's why whenever you set up any properties in digital world, try not to just focus on what you want to say of the product, what the consumer want to listen and what the consumer search for. Okay, this is a bit out of Instagram, but it's also relevant because when your Instagram posts certain description, copies, everything has to be relevant. So how do you find out what keywords do people search, right? Just go to Google, search certain product. You will actually figure out why there's suggestion there. That is how you find it, right? But if you want to find it more, I can give you some tips. Google has a lot of platform and Facebook as well. Just put a disclaimer. Most of the content is not really created by Primer itself. We work very closely with Google and Facebook because we are their partners. So I need to give credit to them. If not, I will get sued. So posting on Instagram content, I will try to go very fast. The way you post content is, one of it is called feed post. I'm sure everyone know Instagram. Either you look at others' brand or you're stalking someone else. It's always the feed that you always scroll up and down. This is how you do in story. That's why I say Jason covered most of it already. So I don't have to speak so much. So nice. Reels, right? If any, just give you another heads up that if you're going to create any content, do not miss out Reels, right? If you create on IG story, please do put it up in Reels because people do spend time scrolling whatever they are doing in the free time on Reels so that your brand will get discovered organically. Do put it there, right? So I will give you more tips away. Another one is called live video. So of course, I think you're aware of that. But my advice to you is live video is not easy to set up, but you must have a proper lighting. And getting a lighting is not that hard right now. You can get from Shopee and Lazada. But setting up live video, try to do it when you have a minimum quorum of 500 followers, at least. Yeah, 500. That is not a golden rules, but based on the experience, if you don't have 500, it will not, when you post, because if you just have 100, right? When you post it up live video, the people who participate will be very low. And sometimes if you keep doing and the numbers is not going up in terms of live audience coming in, you will feel demotivated, right? That's why I try to re-emphasize again, digital is all about test, optimize, and rerun. There's no one silver bullet or magic board immediately you can do. That's how you need to grow. But if any brand manage to build a followers at least 5,000, then you will actually kind of can celebrate it because the organic will start to grow, right? The traction will there already. So get your business discovered. Just to give you a little bit heads up, you need to establish your look and voice. Means you need to understand whenever you set up B2B or B2C, when you set up an Instagram or Facebook, your tone and manner is slightly different, right? But when you draft that, try to draft 2 to 3 copies. The reason being because you need to do a small circle of lipstick survey within your friends and family to understand what the consumer will understand as well. So that's how you do it. So when you say establish look and voice in terms of authenticity, is try to create as much as understandable. If it's food, it's food. If it's a B2B in mechanic, you talk about your superior of your mechanic. So in summary, USP and salient point must have it, but your copies must be simple and understandable. Don't use all the jargon words, try not to, right? Because you're not writing for a press release. So the next one is using hashtag. Jason also cover. So how do you discover a hashtag? Is a lot of free tools there, but of course they won't give you an actual full result. But you can go to Google to find hashtag trending in Malaysia. Or you can go to Instagram and just search for hashtag. The reason hashtag is important is because it allows organically people who discover. So if someone accidentally or not accidentally, maybe I want to search for certain hashtag like gadget, then your post will appear. But if you have any question, ask me whether what is the percentage of successful will appear on the hashtag is based on how many people like and comment your post. But then it's no harm to put in it. But I see certain brand will actually put it a lot. So try not to put too many. That one is overloaded. The rule of thumb is minimum 3 to 5. That's all, right? And if you want to make it more cheeky and more catchy, put the hashtag in between your copies if you can. If not, you just put at the bottom. It's fine. Because certain hashtag just can't form a sentence or a paragraph. So the next one is tell a business story. So like what Jason mentioned, consistency in terms of schedule, consistency on posting, right? You might not have a question, but I just give you an answer right now that if you started a business, creating a posting is actually very difficult because sometimes very demotivated because there's no followers, right? But try to have at least 1 or 2 posts per week to build up the consistency. The reason why I don't want you to keep straight away jump into the bandwagon and just create every single day, when your fans group is still getting attraction, you are running out of ideas. Okay, so try not to jump into the bandwagon, take a step back and think what kind of content you want to go off first. The best content is always shoot about what product you like. Okay, I mean your product that you're selling, sorry, not what you like. Yeah. So the content creation, I will not go through again. Jason actually covered most of it. Jason is very good. I feel like I shouldn't be talking here already. So how do you get people to act, right? Is include your call to action, like what Jason just mentioned, the first speaker. So when you include a call to action means what you want people to actually derive or what you want people to do, right? If you want people to call you, you want people to message you, you need to emphasize in your caption. We call it caption because every time you write post a post with an image, you need to have a description here. Maybe I call it description, but we used to call it caption. Okay, so I shouldn't be selling this because it's best Instagram tips. Whatever we do, we all talk about organic, right? But sometimes if you have dollar and cents, you need to spend certain money to reach out to more people, right? Because any single post that you post out is only your followers can see. The beauty of Instagram is because if let's say you have 50 followers, you go to post a post, your 50 followers will see no matter what. right? But if it's IG, if it's Facebook, it's totally different. The algorithm is totally different. So you need the ads towards it. But if you want to set up the ads and so on, talk to the consultant if you have any friends, or try to Google search for it. Don't ever set up the ads from your Facebook account, because it will just give you a maximized reach. It will not give you much result beyond that. It's just awareness, right? So you need to set up a little bit on the back end, but it's not that difficult. It's don't need rocket science to do it. So the next one is building a deeper relationship to stay on your comment. How do we do it, right? Is whenever you post something, there is people commenting, do not let the person to be in shadow, right? You need to communicate back with them. Okay, so if it's negative, just to communicate something that I try to divert back them to a private message. But you need to communicate. The reason why you communicate is, I tell you, the golden rules is the more people comment and you communicate, your post will eventually have full potential to get discovered by others user organically. So it's best to organic. Don't let it silently there and without doing anything, please. I mean, someone knock the door, you don't open the door, it's a bit rude lah. Okay? So the next one, another tips is, if someone give you a compliment of your product, this product is so good, please always remember the function called pin is very important. The reason why, when a person saw your post, the first comment they will see is the one you pin up, which is a good comment. So you need to ensure you pin it up and like the post. So this is how you need to comment, feedback, and pin and like. Do every single thing that Instagram allows you to do. Yeah, not just posting lah. Okay. And use direct message. Means if the person, I think now most of the social media like to say PM. So when they PM you, you can use direct message to actually talk to them. So it's try to use their leverage. Don't try not to divert people to a WhatsApp, because sometimes it will have a disconnection, because the post is on Instagram. It's best to communicate them to Instagram until they want a further deeper relationship with you, to build a certain relationship, as in like business and so on. You straight away WhatsApp, then normally I can tell you people will just silent and without responding you. So use Facebook Messenger. So these are the inspiring offers. So in Facebook and IG, right, they always share the tips is more about introducing your product, provide preview, promote discount, share tips, and show demos. Yes, it's just a top line, but doesn't mean whenever we say promotion, you keep 24/7 running promotion. Please try not to do that. So it's the best you always start with the introduce of your product, share some tips, show demo, provide preview. Okay, so provide preview, for example, restaurant and food is always easiest and associated to us. Like food, let's say you run a restaurant, we have a client that run a restaurant. They will show a product preview how they cook, right? When they show a tips, they can actually show a different dish that's not being served by a restaurant. The chef will actually prepare for it. So these kind of things is actually synergized and interlaced to your product as well, and to the consumer what they want to learn. So the tips and tools to improve your Instagram content. Use video. I know video is damn hard. I know it takes a long time, but there's a lot of apps to do it. Jason has shared it already. If you still think Jason one is not enough, you just go Google free video editor for Instagram. That's a lot. So using video to engage is because I tell you the rule of thumb. Why video, or any single platform always say video, because video is emotion. Right. So when it has a motion, when anyone scroll on the news feed on your mobile phone, especially your screen is so small, people actually stop for a few seconds and look what kind of content you want to tell me. The content of the context. So if you can't do video, just use motion picture if you can do it and convert it to video. Okay. Eye-catching image means the reason why I like picture for food is because I actually kind of like food. So when we when we actually snap for food, right, try to use like what Jason mentioned, the colors of a contrast, not too dark, not too bright. So how do you play around with it? Actually, Instagram has so many filters. If you take at a wrong angle, try not to be wrong angle, not too far. How do you learn it? I give you one quick tip for everyone, right? To learn on how to take a picture, try to download TikTok and go Discovery and keep looking into it. You will learn my language. You will learn a lot of tips towards there. how they shoot a video, how they edit a video, what angle to put. You might be surprised that you learn quite a lot of things, right? I actually still learning from all the younger generation. Of course, I'm not that old, but taking a picture, like how do you take a building of the picture, you actually just flip the film upside down and just take it very nice. So there's a lot of tips to go there. Try to go discover more. But as what Jason mentioned, one of the tips is always follow your competitor, follow your non-competitor, but align with your customer persona. Then you can see what people generated, what content they generate. That's how you actually learn and adapt and enhance it. Yeah, please do that. If not, you will just create content for yourself. Okay, so use caption to encourage action means these tips is very, very tough because different business is different. So a quick one for you to think back is what kind of caption to use, I mean this here, description, is to what the consumer want to hear, right? If your restaurant or your business is located in Selangor, obviously, if your specific location is Shah Alam, try to tag the place as well. The reason why not using hashtag and also tagging the place is because try to create the possibility that people can discover your post efficiently. This one I always kind of like in terms of like IG story. So what it does is actually create a series of like an engagement content. So what it does is they actually hide certain of the content, right? They actually silhouette it. So what you do is actually, the purpose of this type of content, just a quick one, is to have a question, poll, and so on. But what they do is they're actually doing a follow-up. You see the first picture is actually showing, I don't know what the hell is that, but yeah, showing a house. Then after that, it reviews the background towards it. It's not that hard to edit, to be honest. Any apps can do. The reason why the main purpose of doing this, right, not because we're putting poll, hashtag, and so on, is to encourage user to continue to see what you want to tell. It's like we have a client selling a food container. So what they do is we want to encourage what people actually do that. Actually, it is unwrap. So when they press the first thing is actually silhouette black color, they press the next one is the box, and then the unwrap is actually a food box. So it's like a series of it so that people can follow your story. That's why IG story, Reels is actually very powerful tools if you use it correctly. So my quick one, the quick key takeaway is the tips to start a business in IG. I think my key point is always have all presence in terms of like Google, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you use relevant hashtag, right? Make sure you tag a location if your product is selling a specific location. And make sure you use a consistent in terms of color contrast of your image, right? Always have a content plan. That's what Jason mentioned as well. If your content plan doesn't, because you can see the static number, Jason has shared it. Thank God I never share again, the report of the IG. So whenever you see a report that certain post is work, continue to use back the similar treatment of your posting. If your posting, if you use 3 times more than 3 times, and it's still working, means it derives more reach. A little bit slightly more comments, right? And also more impression and people more engaged more. Keep constantly using it for 3 times. If 3 times is a golden rule, if it's 3 times posting it and 3 times is giving you the result, that is one of the content you should continue already. Then keep on finding out. When I say one of the content means not everyone use back the same one. So that is one of the pillars. So you need, if you ask me how many pillars to have, how many content treatment to have, at least 5. Different text, different colors, you need to have 5, right? It depends on your businesses, right? If your business is very catered to niche, then 1 or 2 is enough. If you're a mass, 18 to 65, come on, be holistic a bit. Everybody is different persona. Okay, so we have to really understand your customer. I know taking customer persona is very hard. I give you a tip. We work with so many SMEs and so many enterprises. It's very, very hard because you need to do a lot of research and survey. But it's not that hard at the beginning to start. First of all, you have your base before you start your business. Think back why you venture into the business. Think back why you start this business, why you want to start, who is the one who buying for a product, right? Build that matrices of your audience and do from there, right? Do not believe, I have a lot of clients always do a survey. They only run, when we ask the survey, what's the sample size, 10, 20, do not trust on that. and do not ask from friends or family. It doesn't work. You have to look at what people react to your post. No likes, no comment. Don't be sad, don't cry, just redo again, right? The sample size 5 or 10, it doesn't derive anything. Okay? So that's the whole thing. The next one is how do you attract in terms of the stories, share the photos, filter, unfilter. So this is what you can do. So what I'm trying to say is everything has a story towards it, right? So the quick one, I'm not going to actually keep on emphasizing. If you look into it, it actually series of showing what you do, close up, pull out a bit, and then you show the whole series and how people work out. This is all the concept. So if it's very beginning, it's very hard for you to understand, but it's fine. But just try to have some creativity by discovering in TikTok and IG story discovery. So yeah, that's all. I mean, one last tips on Instagram. So sorry, I got too many tips. Is try to follow competitor as well and non-competitor, but align with your USP of your product. What I'm trying to say is, if I'm selling a gadget, right, my brand selling a technology or okay, maybe a restaurant, right, and my restaurant is actually a cafe. So cafe is uptrend, right? So I can follow fashion attire, local fashion fashions, apparels and so on. What I'll do is, if I saw them post any post that is actually synergized to my brand, I will go there and comment. Okay, the reason why is you leverage their fans, their followers to saw your product. Okay, but you must do it very nicely. You don't simply go and do lah. You simply go and do that, it actually jeopardize your brand, right? First of all, how to jeopardize the followers will not follow your page. Secondly is the competitor will actually, or the other brand will actually report your doing. So try not to do that. Okay, that's all from my side. Any question? Oh. The question is to Jason, right?
Hi, I'm Sakina.
I saw some question here.
Perhaps, I don't know whether now is the right time to ask, but if you may just use an extra time to explain on how to get into the IG ads.
IG?
Ads.
Ads?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the IG ads, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. How, that one, I need to teach you one by one, but I try to summarize every single thing. Okay, you need to have a Facebook page first, right? So once you have a Facebook page, you need to set up every single day, right? Like I say, you need to have every presence on every ecosystem. So your Facebook page, if you're not going to incline towards updating it, but please update some information, tell people that more updates, follow us on IG, right? You need to set up, you cannot just set up an empty shell, it looks very bad because you are just doing for sake of doing. Do not portray that, even though people don't say it out, but do not portray that kind of image to any consumer. So once you set it up, you immediately got access to call it Business Manager. That's where the dashboard there already. It's not that hard. So you go to Facebook Learning. I can't remember the domain, but you press Facebook Learning, how to set up a campaign, it will be there. The reason why I say don't use the shortcut method on your IG to set up ads is because there is a lot of restriction for you to target a specific person. A lot of restriction, because if you open there, you target ad, you open and run ads, right, on your IG immediately, it's only give you gender, demographic, and budget. That's all, or maybe one or two more. But if you're using a business manager platform, you can actually do a lot of things like interest, exclusion, specific location, every single thing there, right? So it's much more advanced, but it's really, really not that difficult. Okay, starting one thing as well, actually got many things in terms of technicality, theoretically in a whole ecosystem, but IG is the best place to start. But always remember to have Google My Business, although it's not my part of my story. Facebook need to set up, IG need to set up. If website, please enroll that program. Yeah, so anything else? One last question.
There are a lot of questions actually online though. Jeez.
What's the difference of IG and service? Wow, there's a lot of questions. The
Yeah.
first one.
But it's okay. I think later during the Q&A, we can ask.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to check out Caleb one. If boss still want to jeopardize other brand and make like bombastic things that is irrelevant. Just now you
Okay.
mentioned about it. Yeah, this one maybe is good catch.
I mean, your boss, if your boss got balls, then you can do it lah. It really depends on the product, right? If your product is about, like, for example, I have one product just selling a food container, which is very mass, and you don't care about brand image, don't care about the tone and manner of a brand, it's because it's just mass to mamak, kayu, nasi kandar, and so on, you can do it, right? But you don't jeopardize other people, but you can actually comment on certain things, right? So IG is really powerful tools, but how do you actually make use of it? Right? Another content, not just about your content of a product, not the content about how to do it. You can also find your internal team, maybe a founder yourself, right, to become a KOL for the company itself. Start from internal, then when you go to external. It's always best to work that way. Okay? Any more questions? What this one a lot? This one can
A
later.
lot. Actually, you have quite a lot of questions as well. But okay, we will re-invite Mr. Ronnie to be on stage together with the rest of the speakers as well. Maybe let's carry on with the sharing for the last speaker, and then let's answer all the questions from the floor. All right. Thank you so much once again. Please put your hands together for Mr. Ronnie. As all of you can see for online audience as well, yeah. So Mr. Jason, Mr. Ronnie, they all have tons of experience, and we are collecting all these questions that you all posted on the comment, and for physical audience as well during Q&A you can ask more. All right. Okay, so without further ado, we have one last speaker for today talking about Instagram. So Miss Latashini. Okay, Miss Latashini. So she's actually someone who loves and to learn to continue to improve herself with new knowledge. And she has been in the business as well as in the industry for digital as well. And she has taken her time to actually expand and also like improve her knowledge in terms of social media, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn, and so much more. So she has taken up programs as well as in design thinking, in virtual business admin and digital marketing programs, and so much more. So she'll be sharing with us about her experience in terms of her business as well as how she leveraged on Instagram. So let us put our hands together and welcome Miss Latashini. Thank you.
Okay, hi, good evening, everybody. Okay, last speaker, so I'm going to bore you because I'm going to repeat the same thing as Mr. Jason and Ronnie has said. Okay, so I hope I don't bore so much. And do stop me. I might go like bullet train sometimes when I'm overexcited. So do stop me in between. Okay, today is the best Instagram marketing tips. Okay, so just now, Cha already mentioned about me. So this is about me. I'm also just now morning you have seen Roslinda. So I'm her mentee. So I'm also working with her. So I'm business development manager for her. So this is what I'm going. So I'm still studying and I'm also doing my postgraduate. Okay. So this is what we are going to do for today. Why Instagram? What's the benefit of it to your business? How do you utilize it and how to market using the strategies in Instagram. Okay. Okay. This quote, I just love it because if you're not on social media, you're not learning or laughing, not inspired, then you're using it wrong. Okay. So this is one quote. So you must know whether you're on the right place or not. Okay, use Instagram. So a lot of people know Instagram is photo sharing. So mainly Instagram is your photo should be right. Your photo should be very catching. So that is the main thing for Instagram. Okay, so that as 55 million users are there per day. So imagine how much you can go for your business in Instagram. Okay, so basically this is about Instagram. Okay, what's the benefit of it? Okay, as you can see this. Okay, this one here. This one here is the brand awareness. Okay, you get the customer engagement, promote there and visual content. So how this works, we go to the next slides. Increase brand awareness. What is brand awareness? Okay, something that people should know about you, not your product. For me, brand awareness is you. How people get to know you. So this is how you promote yourself in business. Like how Shopee, Lazada, we don't know who is at the back of it. So from Instagram, Facebook, we can see who is the owner of it. That's mainly of the brand awareness. So that is social media is the best place for you to do that. Okay. One example, without looking at the name, do you know what brand is all this? Right? By seeing logo, that is also brand awareness. So you should put out your logo out there so people will know. When they see the logo, this is you. So that is what is brand awareness also. This is what example of brand awareness. Without knowing the name, you know that this is that brand. Okay? Engage with customer. Okay? Engage with like how just now Mr. Jason and also Mr. Ronnie have said, customer persona and everything. So this is how you engage your customer. You must know your customer. So like even any business, know your customer, the KYC, know your customer. So you have to do that for even social media. Okay? So you must know your customer. You have to do research who buys from you. Like how they said, from the insights, you take from there. So you do your post, you see what you are, what type of gender, what age, what from which demographic, everything you see from your insights. So you must know your customer, then you bring out your post, then you know what post is working for you. So you must know your customers. Some followers may unfollow you because maybe you're not giving value. You are giving only like say, you're selling. Okay, don't do that. You have to, don't only sell. Like how I used to say my earlier talk, don't just sell, you have to keep telling. So that is the main thing. Don't just sell. Tell also is like, say you're selling a brand of skincare. Don't just sell your product. Tell what's the tips. Okay, maybe you have to do this to take care of your skin. Maybe you have to eat this to take care of your skin. That is something you're educational. So you have to do that kind of value added things to engage your customers. Okay, so this is one. Promote your product. This is the product. You promote your product on Instagram. Okay, so this is we are not talking about digital ad. This is organic reach. So you post in your Instagram to tell about products. You can do a demo, a video, anything to promote about your product and services. So this is this one. Visual content. As you know, Instagram is all because of visual. So that is the main thing for Instagram. Photo is the most important thing. So you take a very catchy photo, very nice photo. The visual should be clear, not blurry. Maybe you want to give like a surprise, then maybe you blur at the first post, then maybe second post you put at the actual content, then it'll be good. Okay, that is for the visual content. So audience get attracted to the photo for Instagram. This is like how they do live. So you're doing a demo. So demo is like a fun way of doing it. Okay. So like now we are doing this. This also is a live video. This is one important thing. So when you do live, people know what you're doing. So that is the most important thing. So do live where people will see that how you use the product. Because sometimes when you just sell, you don't show a demo, people will never know how to use it. Just keep it aside. So you do this once in a while, not once in a while, 1 week, 2 times at least, people will know what you're doing. Okay? Okay, how to utilize. This one also, I think Jason and Ronnie have told this, so I just repeat again. Stories. Okay, why I didn't put feed posts here? Because for me, I feel, yes, feed posts, like how Jason said, it's like your first shop, right? It's a main store for you. But when you post in feed and stories, people will watch you more on stories. So they said they are watching you. When you put in feed posts, nobody look at you for a while. But stories, people are watching you. You can post for feed posts, you might see 3 followers. But when you go in the stories, 100 over followers were watching you on the whatever you put. Today you are in this program. You put there, you can see people, 100 over people seeing you on the stories. So stories is very important. Your first thing that for you to promote your brand. Okay, stories. Shop. Okay, in Instagram, the shop, you need to have a website to create the shop. So that is a very good thing in Instagram because a lot of them are buying from Instagram shop. So Instagram shop is one of it. One more thing. Stories, like how just now everybody said, 24 hours only. So try to make it a very catchy story so people will come back to your feed post to look at you. So 24 hours only, it will be there for the stories. Okay. Shop, you explore on the shop. You must have a landing page that is your website for shop. Okay. Reel. Okay. If you're already into TikTok and I think Reel is very, very easy. Algorithm is very good there. I just post a normal post only. It can go 1,000 to 2,000 views in Reels. Okay, so something that you really will create a good engagement, and you can post this in your feed. You do Reel, post it in your feed also. So it's like you're doing 2 in 1. You're doing a Reel and put it in your feed. So you also get an engagement on there. So it's a very good tool for you to use it. Okay, Reel is, and you do makeup. Okay, all is there already. Just maybe use a filter and just do. So after you cooking, you straight away can do a reel. You can just post something already. So that is the real option there for you. And live, I love to do live, but my live always, when you see my live, I only do 30 minutes. I don't go more because engagement of customers or audience for me, I feel is 30 minutes when I'm doing a demo. Okay, so even we do Facebook Live for online bazaar. We do on Facebook Live. We only do for 30 minutes because to catch the audience, 30 minutes to do. You go more than that, sometimes people get bored. So for me is live. Okay, live, when I do one time live, I can get 3-4 customers already. So for me, I will not wait. I don't wait whether there's 10 viewers or 20 viewers because the live will be there forever. So people will go and see because they are your follower. The live will still be there. They can still watch you and somehow or other customers will come in. So this is what I do. So I prefer to do live because I get customers from there. Okay, and I feel I'm educating them with all my things, whatever I'm doing through live. Okay, I enjoy doing live there. Okay, this is sample how it is. This is story, this is shop, and that is reel and live. And live you can do with 2 people, like I showed the example here. So you can call your customers in. You want to do a review of your product. You invite them for your live talk. So customers review is very important. So if this person don't want to give us testimonial, written testimonial, they're willing to do live video. Call them in. This also will create a good customer engagement because somebody live coming in and giving a review, live review, people will like this. Okay, so this is very, very engaging. This I used to do this a lot because it give a good engagement and response is quite good with this. So I do live. We can do for live with 4 people one time in Instagram. Okay, we have tried it out. So 4 people can do in live for Instagram. Okay, what's the Instagram marketing strategy? Like just now also, Jason and Ronnie said about planner. We do have. Why is planner? Because a lot of us get burnt out of content. That means, you get up morning, alamak, what to do today? I don't know what to post. I have no idea. I don't know what to do. So we burn out of content. And then planning is better. Even when we go traveling, we plan before we go, right? We book our ticket, we book the hotel. That is planning. Same goes for social media. You have to do your planning first. Then only you will get to the right, destination or strategy that you want. Okay? Then, when we are busy, we are not only doing our business. We might be working moms. We might be, doing other business. We're taking care of family, everything. So you have sometimes no time to sit down and think. So planner is important. So there's a lot of content planner outside there. So we do have our own content planner we have created for the Asian market. So do ask me later about this. Okay. Hashtag. All the other 2 speakers also have told about hashtag. Hashtag is very, very important. That is the main thing for your business. Okay. Hashtag is very, very important. And I would say hashtag ideal for me, it will be 9 to 11. That will be the best for, don't go more than 11. Too much. Because you see that how the earlier speaker has showed the photo of the, Instagram, right? You can see only the first 4 lines only. So you don't do more than that because people sometimes, if very interesting, they will go inside and check what they have written there. So try to make it within the 4 lines so it's very attractive. That is mainly for Instagram. Contest and giveaway. This is the most important thing. When you do this also create a lot of engagement in your, in your Instagram. Okay, you'll get more followers and everything. Contest and giveaway is the most important thing. So then do it, track on it, then show the winners. Like you can announce, okay, contest is coming soon. Watch out, decide. Then you put in what contest that you need them to do. Then, okay, this is the winners. Post about the winners and what gift you are giving away. That is the most important thing. So people know that you are there and you're doing this. This is very good kind of a promotion. And tell whoever the winner, ask them to give a review about your product. So there's another free review you're getting also. Okay? Optimize your bio. Bio, later I'll show you the sample. What is this? So bio is very important and it's between 150 characters or below. Don't use much. That is the first page when you see in your Instagram. So it's your your introduction about you. So you must be very specific, very interesting. So people will say, hey, what is this person doing? So they will go inside and see your feed. So your bio must be very, very engaging. Okay. This is the content planner. So we have like color combination and everything. So we have what you should do for which day and everything, and for what do you call this, festival and everything. So everything is here in the content planner. Okay, this is the hashtag. As you can see, this is my brand, and this is my other brands, my personal hashtag. So when you do your hashtag, at least two is your personal. One is your brand, like what your company name, anything you want to use, and your personal hashtag, so people will know who you are. So a lot of people know me as Queen of Gadgets. So this is my personal hashtag. Then below that, you can use any other hashtag that you want. So since you already have two hashtags of your own, balance 9, you just go and research what is the best hashtag. Say you're selling skincare. Go Google best hashtag for skincare. Everything will come out. So you just choose whichever is engaging. And sometimes when you Google already, at the below you go and see how many percentage are using, how many people are using. So you choose the highest percentage and use it. So this is how you find your hashtags. Sorry. This one, okay, this is one of our participants who've used this. Okay, they have used the contest. This is how they post in Instagram. So you see, Bubbles giveaway finally here. So this is how they do. So you just post a TikTok, Reels or stories and thing to post about that. Okay. This is the some morning Roslyn. So her bio. So this is the bio. So how do you put it? It must be very catchy and everything. So the bio is here. Okay. So this, you must make sure your page that the bio is very, very catchy. Okay. How do you create a high performing Instagram? So this is actually the last part. Okay, one more before I go this. Whatever you do, like how you said, don't just sell, just tell. That means you have to follow the rule, 80-20 rules. Okay, what is the 80-20 rules? That means you have 10 posts, 8 should be educational or tips or anything, 2 only your selling posts. That is the main thing for any social media. You should follow the 80-20 rules and also follow like how Jason did tell the SMART goals. So whatever I showed earlier, SMART goals is very, very important. You should use that to do whatever your content and everything. Okay? So this is a summary before I end. How do you get? You have to analyze your Instagram content. You must know what you want to post. Like if you have your planner, this will help you here. Your planner will help you to analyze your content. When you should publish, also when you do analyze, like for me, I will first try, like how they say, there's no fast rules for social media. It's like all test run and everything. So for me, I post it in the morning because I feel morning, everybody when going to work, they'll start looking at the phone first. So morning. Then lunchtime, people definitely having lunch, definitely the phone will be with y'all. So that will be the time I post. Then maybe towards after work, sometimes when you stuck in the jam, some people do see the phone, but it's very wrong. So that one also, you can post during the evening and towards night. Some ladies or guys, when they finish their work, relax with the children and think, 9-10 o'clock, they be posting the time. I have tried 12 midnight. I do get engagement sometimes, but it depends on what you post. Okay, so that is what you should post the time. Find out how to utilize the hashtag. This one I said, you go to the Google, go in and put the best hashtag for, say, you're doing services for insurance. Best hashtag for insurance. All the hashtag there will come out. Okay, then you can just use it. Whatever I said, you must have at least 2 your personal hashtag. Balance, use it from whatever you do a research. Okay, understand whether to use hashtag. Like just now, Ronnie said, put in between of your caption. Use your hashtag. If they can form a sentence, use the hashtag in between the sentences, or put it at the caption or at the comment. When you can go back after you post, you can go and comment yourself. You can put the hashtag there also. Okay. Okay. How many Instagram hashtags? As I said, 11 is the most. Between 9 to 11. Don't go more than that. That is the best. Okay. Caption can be very long, but try not to put so much. This caption is the description in your feed post. So like I said, whatever the main caption should be visible within the 4 lines. So try to make it very catchy so people will be interested to go and click and see what you are really selling about. Okay. Audience behavior, customer persona, you see your insight. What kind of, what's the demographic, what's the age, everything you can see from the inside to determine how you should post. So maybe like how just now Ronnie said, today this post goes this much. Tomorrow also you try this one, it goes. So you know this kind of, maybe this kind of method works, then you try on for different posts. So you try differently. For me, I feel sometimes when I do crazy stuff, that one will go up. When I do normal, serious, nothing want to go up. So it depends on you. So how you want to, whether do serious stuff or crazy stuff, see which it goes up. Okay? And competitors. You have to see your competitors. What type of hashtag they use, how they post, everything. That's the main thing for Instagram. Competitors or use your influencer. Okay? Okay. That's all I have to say for now. So you can contact me in this. I have my Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and also my WhatsApp number is there. And basically that. And if you want anything, just can contact me. Okay. So that's all. I hope you understand any question. I hope I didn't. But yes, can. Yes. Yes. Okay, sure. Good question. Okay, like you see, I use Linktree in my bio so that people will, because in when you post in the feed post, you cannot put any link there because you cannot click. Especially in like Facebook, when you put in post, then you can put the link. You can click and come to whatever website or WhatsApp and everything. So use a Linktree so that you can put all the your social media there. So you can get more followers into that particular social media. So for me, Linktree is the best there. So you put in that, you can put your LinkedIn, you can put your social media, social media again, Facebook, TikTok and everything. So you want more people to come for other social media, go through that Linktree. So you put the link there. In the Linktree, you mean? Okay, I've never explored that, but when we use it, I have seen people use a lot. So I think you can put at least more than 6 or 7 inside there. So so far only, because mine, I'm only using Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram. I put my WhatsApp also there. I think I did put my YouTube channel also there. So everything can go in there. So you can put, I think, more than 5 to 7. I think that one also is a free version. If you have the Linktree also got paid version, so then maybe you can put more on the Linktree. Okay, but if I come back to your question, this again for you, decide, because for me, Linktree is very new. Okay, because my Instagram, I'm used to it, but Linktree is new, but I know I'm using the free version. Maybe other speakers later can answer to this. I'm putting about 6 to 7 of my links inside the Linktree. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Latashini. Thank you. So please put your hands together. Thank you for all our speakers again. Oh, I stand wrongly, yeah? So we will rearrange, we will re-invite all our speakers on stage again. By far, just a heads up for all our speakers, yeah? Today, I think this afternoon, by far, is like the most questions that we collected online. So there are like lists of questions. So hopefully, like during the Q&A, we can enlighten the audience more, yeah? So before we actually go into the Q&A session, there will be a QR code that being screened on this, yeah. In the comments. So you can click on it, give us a little bit of feedback for today's session about our speakers, about the content, as well as some of the upcoming topics that you'd like to listen to from CDAC, yeah? Okay, thank you. So for physical audience, you can scan over the QR code over the screen. Sorry, I don't mind. Okay, a little bit of time here. All right. Yeah. No problem. Okay, so prepare your question, yeah, audience. Okay, so let us again, done already? Set up? Okay, once again, we will invite all our speakers, Mr. Jason, Mr. Ronnie, and Ms. Latashini to be on the stage together with us. Okay, to take questions. I'll try my best, okay? So as I mentioned, it's like by far the most questions that were collected on the comment itself. Only from online audience, there's already quite a lot. So I will pick some of the relevant ones to direct to speakers one by one, all right? Okay, so physical audience, by any time you would like to enhance in terms of your question, then you can also raise your hand so we take note of that, yeah? Okay, first, I think there are questions for Mr. Jason. So I think that a lot of things that you mentioned about IG, then in terms of content as well. So what would you recommend for service-based kind of businesses when it comes into Instagram? I think there are a couple of the audience asking about like contents for like services. Yeah. What would be some of the advice that you would like to give for clients or maybe audience that doing services business? Yeah.
So basically for services-based businesses, you just want to show what you're able to do, right? So in the example of, let's say you're a mechanic, right? You can just simply show like, okay, how to change a tire, how to, do this kind of quick things at home. So this is where you can sort of like start building the brand, build the trust, right? And from there, then after that, when they have a bigger problem, let's say with their car and all, they know, oh, I remember this guy who, always show how to fix tire, always show how to do this. So let me go and find that guy. So when you do service-based business, you can always just showcase what you are able to do. And when you showcase what you're able to do, then people will actually know what you do, right? Rather than just say like, oh, we are mechanic. Like, okay, but what do you fix, right? So just, basically display what you're able to do.
Okay, thank you. So other speakers, if you have points to add on, you can also raise your hand to add on to that, yeah? I think for that question coming from Cool and Intan, because Intan also asking, this is related to it, like produce videos, right? Other than like services to showcase as to like how you change your tire and all those. So they're asking is like, is there anything else to actually add on in terms of content, especially videos?
You mean type of content? Like
yeah. For services lah, like for videos.
So again, if it's for videos, then showcasing of what you do is the best. Second thing is, of course, the educational part. So how do you do it? So for example, for me, I don't really use the video format that much. I do more text-based. But I talk about how a certain case study, how we run certain clients' campaigns, what were the results generated, how we do, what are the things we tested, what are the difference that we do. So for service kind of business, that's what you can also do from a video perspective. You can actually showcase again, the service that you provide.
Okay, so hope that answer your question, yeah? So, all right, so, and let's move on to questions to Mr. Roni. There are a couple of them, but specifically one that you mentioned as to remain relevant on Instagram. Do they need like 500 or 5,000 followers? Because you mentioned both these figures in your explanation just now.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is 5,000 is the best so that you can see attraction, but 500 is where you need to re-evaluate your content posting really in terms of the density, right? So because the rule of thumb is the more number, the higher traction will go in terms of the snowball effect, right? So always, how do you want to increase the density of your posting? When I say density, how many posts per day, how many posts per week, is when you hit the quorum of 500 followers. Then you start to increase your density. Right. Yeah. Okay. So of course you ask me 5,000, 10,000. I mean, the more the merrier. But yeah.
Always the more the merrier, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So again, also there are like a couple of questions that coming from your session of sharing. Yeah. So they're asking as to what would be your best practices as to how to go faster to get to IG Explore page. There's a question from Alina. Like very technical. I asked them to ask you hard questions. Sorry about that.
I try to refine myself not to tell you all spend money, but yeah. Okay, so to get to explore page, right, there's no hard coded. I think if you recorded, right, Facebook and Instagram, do not quote me. I scared if this video go out, they will just come after me. So the algorithm, how it works, right, in a whole digital ecosystem is they find the relevancy of what each consumer are consuming. That's why you always hear the boring stuff. You might feel boring. It's always talk about customer persona, user generated, what user like to hear, what user like to see. It's because if you don't nail this fundamental, your content will never ever appear organically in any explore page unless you spend money, right? I try not to go that because most of my clients are spending. So to get that, is first thing, the rule of thumb to get the content right. There's high traction means people liking it, people commenting it, and right, using the right hashtag, right? The hashtag how to write is a lot of fundamental. Always take a step back to think as you are from the consumer point of view, right? Don't take whatever is from the class right now and straight away do it. For instance, people will just blindly take it. I search for a hashtag, I use that. But did you actually go to Instagram and search for hashtag any post is relevant to you or not? If the hashtag is not, don't use it. Right? Don't just do for sake of doing it. Do a little bit research. That's what I got to say. So I'm not trying to debunk. Yes, discover is a bit hard.
Maybe I can add on to that as well. So
Thanks, Jason.
if we take another step back, you ask ourselves, what is Facebook, Instagram's business model? Right? The business model is advertising. Okay, and how do they get more ad revenue? Is more people spend more time on the page. So if your content is that's why it's back to the boring stuff, audience and all that. Because if your content is engaging, they'll stay more on the platform. They stay more on the platform. They see more ads. They see more ads. Facebook will make more money. So how to get to the explore page is actually create good content. Yeah.
Okay, so linking it up as a summary, create more content, and if you have budget, spend on it in order for you to get on the explore page, yeah? Okay, all right, so good question again from Alina, yeah? And moving on, I think from Miss Latashini, I think a lot of them actually ask this question, so maybe after you answer, some of our other speakers can also add on. Speaking about life, because all of you mentioned live is also something that's very engaging, and you did live as well. So one of the question is asking about for live, yeah? So when you do like live content itself, and there are like likes and comments, then how do you actually utilize those for engagement? That's one question. And actually there's another specifically one asking also, when you do live, some of them are not the believer when you open live and start to sell, right? So how do you turn into a believer and start utilizing live? Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good question. Okay, first I will go the last one. How do you be believer for life? Okay, I was scared for a while doing live before first time when I started business. So I had people who motivated me. Go live, you're clever to talk, go and do live. So when I started, it was surprised that when I did live that I had, when I see one person, wow, one person viewing is like, very nice. So that is sometimes the motivator is yourself, okay? Not others. You have to be ready. You believe yourself that you can do it. Definitely you can do it. You can go live. So that is how you start. So we will tell, plan yourself, write ABC, what you should do, what you should do. Everything is there. So everything is just the front there. Even this, the preparation for slide. Sometimes when we talk, it's like, nah man, the one aside, just a guideline. You will be overwhelmed and you'll be excited to talk more because it's yourself. Because you are the ambassador of your brand, not anybody else. You know what you're selling. So when you tell more, you will get the engagement more. So that's how the like and share comments will come in. Okay, so then when people like this, whenever now the live, our speakers are going to go and comment back there, whatever question. That is how you engage back. So don't leave a ghost comment there. That means don't just leave it there. That means people come like how just now Ronnie said, people knock your door, you don't open, right? You open, right? So that's the thing. So go and comment back. They say hi, you reply by hi. So that's how you engage. So people know that you are engaging with them. So this is how I would say do live, comment, share, and share everywhere. That's how you get more people. When you're doing live, tell your customer, do share this live. Like this live show, so we are sharing. That's how you get the engagement. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah. So there's a reason why we ask you all to share on your social media as well and put your question in the comments. So that's part of the tricks. Okay. So for other speakers like Mr. Ronnie and Mr. Jason, you all run like for clients. So maybe is there any points that you would like to add on in terms of like live?
Yeah, sure. I can add some. So I think as what you mentioned as well, you got to do it yourself as a business owner. However, if like Ronnie also say, if you have money, money solves a lot of problems. If you have money, then get someone to do the live for you, right? Someone who's professional or a KOL to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a friend who runs a skincare e-commerce business. When they do live, they get, let's say, 300 people viewing, right? Sounds small, 300 people. But out of 300 people, he said the conversion is like almost 200 people would buy. So 200 people buying a 100, 200 ringgit product is already 20, 30,000 in sales in one day. Not even 1 day, 2 hours, right? Or half an hour if she does 30-minute live, right? So then you can keep doing that over and over again, of course, with different angles, with different influencers, and that's how you leverage their audience as well, and you can generate sales. Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Rooney, anything else on this part?
I try to add something. If not, I feel like...
No, I will have more questions to you.
All the technicality, most of the two speakers have covered, right? But it's more on if you're a startup business and so on. If you're going to do live, try to pre-record before you do any live. You feel very reluctant to create content. Communication is too fast. You can't communicate. Do not jump into it. Right? You need to be confident, then only start doing it. Because sometimes, I think when we talk to every of my startup clients, when we do something, you need to have a purpose and see the lights towards it. Because if long run you keep doing it and your content is wrong, you're just hitting yourself. Right? Because you start the services, you start the product, you have your marketing strategy, you know why you want to start this business, you know your USP, your salient point, and so on. So don't let this kind of IG life, you just want to jump into the bandwagon and just kill you off and say, IG doesn't work. Right? If you want to build confidence, work with the partners. We call it a social commerce in IG life, right? So you can actually find very easily those that people are selling others people product in life. You can work with them slowly. You can start. It's more in the psychology way, I'm telling you, because technically they both cover already. I don't know what else to cover. So you need to overcome your challenges in terms of camera shy. Then only you take a first step to doing IG life.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Rooney. I think very makes sense because I think the audience that some of them are asking the questions are very new to the business. Yeah. So take a step. There are content planners that all our speakers shares as well. So heads up for everyone. Yeah. So the video will be live on CDEC TV like after 1 to 2 weeks, and the slides, if speaker are okay to share, so the version of shareable version will be uploaded in CDEC TV as well. So you can actually refer back to that. Okay. Very makes sense. So start with the content that you're comfortable. Once you're confident, then you start on live. And I think there are more questions coming in. So just now, Mr. Ronnie mentioned about like relevant, right? So there's someone asking from Chong Chuang Tong, okay, online. So speaking about relevant to the business content, should they do a dancing reel instead?
And I will answer that.
Yeah. Please.
Okay, this one we had when we have our student also been asking, they are more on professional. Should we do this, the dancing reel? Okay, you don't need to do that actually. There are professional way of doing the reel. Okay, you can do, maybe you can just stand, just move your hand this way, that way. You can do a good content, to bring out whatever you need to convey to them, messages to them. And you can just put any video of you can go use Canva. Okay, like how does now Jason show all the video editors. Me, I personally will use Canva. Canva can do a lot of videos, a lot of things. So go inside there you can see the elements of video. You can people dancing. So you can use that and put whatever reel that you want for your business. So not necessary for you to dance. As long you show your face, maybe just do something to show your product. You be there to do, because people want to see who is the ambassador. That means you are the ambassador. So for me, is that you should be there to show your face first. Then you can use other elements from whatever video editing. You can use it for your reel.
So try to relate it to the product and services as well, right? Okay, so Chong, so on that one, but I feel like they're also asking like certain questions in terms of, this is like forever question. I think since last year, every time we run it, people keep asking as to where do they get more followers? Can I buy followers? Like, yeah, based on your experience, like any of the speakers can pick up this.
Let me maybe don't buy followers.
Yeah, never. Okay.
Okay, if you're recording this, right? Facebook gonna kill me. Anyway, it's not a bad practices to start a business and start an IG from scratch to buy followers. Even though you found a function to increase followers, do not do that, right? Because the algorithm doesn't work perfectly at the beginning of the stage. Even your business always have challenges and hiccup, and that's how you overcome it and your business grow. Same goes to IG. Do not buy followers. The only way you can do by organically is constantly posting. Constantly means not like post 5 times a day. Just give out the momentum, 2 content per week, add a hashtag, comment on others' brand that's aligned to your brand proposition. Just from there, just let slowly discover. Because if you buy, I give you one precautious, if you buy followers, you will see all non-relevant people liking your ads. I don't think you want that. You want genuine people following you. Okay, so do not buy, right?
Yeah.
For dancing reel, really, to be honest, right? Dancing reel is very hip, but I don't think every product should do that, right? So it's really of what product you synergize. Let's say you're talking about selling nursery, right? Plants. I mean, the founder want to be part of dancing reel, then it's fine. It's, as long as you can be part of the plants, like your plants, let's say you have certain picture posts on a studio, right? Or a yoga, meditation. Then you can do a reel on meditation as well, but not just jump for sake of jumping. That's how I got to say lah. It really has to align what your brand is and what your consumer want to content.
Yeah. Actually, yes, aligning back to the content as well, yeah. So I think this is very important where never buy followers and that followers can grow. But from going the followers itself, right? For just now, Miss Latashini, do you have anything to add on here?
Like how he said, the followers don't buy followers. Yes,
Yeah.
how he said, consistency is the most important thing. That is the most important thing for you to get your followers. So, and like how today, like how we are businesswomen, we think that, alah, our own business, right? We can tutup today for kedai, then don't post anything. Cannot. If you go kedai makan 24 hours, they open. So same thing. You do your post consistently, like how Ronnie said, not say the every day. You have to be consistent. That means like say, there's scheduling in Instagram. So you can schedule everything. So you want today 8 o'clock to go out. Tomorrow you go 9 o'clock. So you can schedule that. So you can save your time by doing that. So 1 week post you can schedule, you can do other work. So that is the most important thing. Consistency is the word for you to get your followers.
Okay, thank you so much. Consistency. And Mr. Jason, I think that is also relevant to these followers about content, content planner. There's one question also asking about how many posts based on your experience for businesses, for especially like business owners that they actually want to utilize IG. What will be like the minimum or like the best number of posts that you need to create to be consistent, to get traction? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is always the magic question everybody asks. But I think Ronnie also covered this earlier, which is that the more followers you have, of course, then the more posts you need to create, right? Because if you have 10 followers, then if you create once a week, the 10 people see you once a week is fine. Because you also have to consider from an Instagram reach perspective, is not everyone will see your posts. So if you have, let's say, quite a big number, 10,000, 100,000 followers, every time you post, maybe only 10% will see it. So the more you post, then of course, the more people are able to see it. So as what Ronnie said, the density will start increasing once your followers also start getting more, right? When you have big clients, they maybe even post 3 times a day, right? And then you're like, wow, 3 times a day. But by the time they already have a team and everything, of course. So I think for a start, usually, 2 to 3 times a week, that'll be good. Yeah.
Okay, so as a general summary, 2 to 3 times a week when you're starting, when you hit 5,000, you increase the density possible every day one post or up to like 2 to 3 posts a day, yeah? Okay, cool. So just to add on to that, I think Mr. Jason, you mentioned about encourage customer to post about like the products and services because that's one of the content that you mentioned. So there's a question from Fanny Yap to you. So how do businesses encourage customer to post about products and services? Yeah.
Yep. So a couple of ways you can do that. If you want to do it the so-called easy or the fast way, it's what we call incentivized review, right? Which means you give something in return. So you can see a lot of restaurants and even service-based business, haircuts and all would do this kind of strategy, which is like, hey, if you post about us, we give you 10% off your next visit. Right? So that's the quickest way and the easiest way to sort of do it. The harder way is the brand building, which is in the long term, when you're a cool brand, everybody likes you, right? Everybody likes Nike, everybody likes Adidas. They're more than happy to just post it, right? But of course, that takes years to build. So the shortest or the fastest way to do it is what we call an incentivized review. Yeah, give them something in return for posting about your product or services.
Okay, so it makes very good sense. Same goes to like contest posts and others. Yeah, so it's also some of you all mentioned about influencer marketing, right? So actually, customers is your best influencer as well. Yeah, so that one is something that you all can take note for. Thank you so much for answering that. And next question, we have it for Mr. Roni. I can see, for Mr. Roni, your question is very technical most of the time. So speaking about setting up ads that you mentioned, just quick one for some of the new audiences that new to all this, yeah? So just now you mentioned have to have a Facebook page. So there's a question from Cullen asking, do we need to have both IG and Facebook page that align with contents in order to run ads? I have another question to you, so be prepared. Yeah.
Thank God you never asked me how to set up the
ads account.
The ads account. I mean, that one is quite tedious. Okay, the content has to be aligned. It's by right, the rule of thumb is trying not to be similar, right? But at the starting, you can do it as a similar, but of course, if you can have a little bit of different shape, it could be the concept, it could be the text, right? The reason why I give you all this kind of thinking hat is because I don't want you to boil down. If you are starting a business, right, you have too much other challenges to think. Marketing is just one way of communication, but you need to do it correctly, because if you're too exhausted on that planning, like follow the real case of what super brand are doing, bigger brand, you will be bombarded. Then you see how come it's not. Then you will fail to, you will actually talk to every marketer, say, this one all money one, got money can borrow. But it doesn't work that way. You just need a longer process. So yes, the question, it should be different. And no, you can be the same if you are just about to start, right? So if you don't have time to update both platform, just update on Instagram, just put a notification there. Follow us on Instagram for more updates, right? It's how you diversify the attention towards it. Right, that's my opinion. But if you can update both concurrently with different content, it will be the best. Because Instagram is very much into picture to tell every single things. Facebook is very much information.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is very, very true as well. Yeah.
Because IG is a photocentric.
Yeah. Yeah, you can answer. You can pick that.
Unban and disable ad account very difficult way. This one, Jason, maybe can answer. I'm just joking. So, unfortunately, we do have partnership with Facebook and Google, but unban account is totally beyond our say, because it's still beyond restriction of Facebook or Google. If you all do have website, my recommendation, if you run any ads that are going to link to your website, link to your Facebook, please make sure no sensitivity on anything, for example, drugs or whatever, because once it's disabled, you cannot enable back most of the time. You need to start back a new ad account. Yeah. So unfortunately, I can't help you.
Unfortunately, so sorry for that. So remember, post something that is more appropriate. So maybe like linking to the ads question, sorry about it. Yeah, Mr. Ronnie, there's so technical question for you. But speaking about retargeting, because there's one question asking about ads. Okay, so they catch you for all the possible ways. So, question from Wei Jing, yeah? So retarget Instagram fans that's already following them. Okay, so can they do this in the in-app Instagram ads, or they have to go through like Facebook Business Manager?
You like to ask technical, you must be running campaign before. If you're using an in-Instagram ad to run retargeting, impossible. So that's why you need to start a Facebook page and have a business manager. The login will be the same thing, right? So master account for the Facebook is always your profile picture. Your profile Facebook page. You just make sure you log in there. It's very sensitive when you start taking out all the ads. Please make sure you set 2 tiers authenticity in terms of security of your personal profile. Unfortunately, you have to do it. So if not, your Facebook ad account will also disable. Retargeting is really difficult. Able to do that is business manager. But in more technical, I just give you back. You need to think about it and try to learn more about it. You cannot just retarget like that. You need to set up a lot of pixels and so on. So yeah. So yeah.
I think my mic is not working yet. So maybe I will just speak a little bit. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, talk too much. There's battery out like 2 times today. Maybe like, sorry for that. Thank you, Mr. Jason. But I'll ask the next question to Ms. Latashini. I'll jump back to Mr. Jason later because there are more questions. So you're talking about like content, right? 80-20 rule. So some of them are asking, does it apply for, because you have a couple of like platforms on other platforms as well. So does that also apply for like other platforms? Say, for example, yeah.
Yes. I say 80 rule applies for all social media. So this is what we all learn from our mentor. So it's better to follow the 80-20 rule. That means like the general thing, 10 posts you have, 8 will be educational tips and maybe video of your, at the background. That means you show your company, not company, that means you have your staff, right? If you have staff, you show your staff a video showing at the background. They like people to see at the backstage what's going on. Like maybe like today the live is going on, they might show how they set up this place. You show this kind of video will be very good, a very engaging thing. So that's why this is 80-20 rule. So only 2 posts. They say consistency. They say not every day you have to post. So the other posts can be anything very general. So 2 posts only for selling, because when you post every day for selling, there's already hard selling. So don't do that. So do on this kind of thing. So then people will know, oh, she's not only selling, she's also giving some educational. So this is why the 80-20 rule for every platform will be applicable.
Yeah. Okay, so content also plays another part. So maybe to add on also, just now you mentioned about bio to be catchy, right? So how catchy as in terms of like the characteristic? Yeah.
It can be, okay, it depends on what business you do. How do you want to make it catchy? Like my mentor, she puts in, I'm a digital marketer. I create a community to help them to come up in their business. So this is something that people are thinking what she does. She's digital marketing and she's doing community. So this is what she does. They want to know more. So this is how they come and engage with her. So you must be very, don't use so bombastic word. So use normal layman terms so people will just get engaged. You use bombastic word. Oh, these people is very, very, very high. Very difficult to connect with them. So don't use so much of bombastic word. Very layman terms so people will understand. Even my son also will see Instagram. So it's like people must really understand to that level because Instagram is youngsters, but there are people who are 50s, 60s using it. So, but try to go on very, very layman term and very engaging and catching. And one more, I just want to add on that.
Yeah.
That's not they say. Does look matter when it comes to IG Live?
Yeah.
It depends on what you do. Say you're doing cooking stuff. Then you're cooking. You can just be anything to show as normal how the ladies are at home. You can do that. But if you're doing skincare, don't go like using your night dress and going everything. No, you should be presentable. Then you go live. So look does matter. It depends on what you are doing. You're doing insurance. You want to go live to tell about it. Don't go very, very chinchai kind of thing. Go very professional. So it all depends on what you do. So look is matter depends on what you do.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think this is a very interesting question, but I will direct it to Mr. Jason first and others because if you can add on, because you all mentioned about content. IG Reels is important, stories is important. So this specific question is like just wondering, IGTV. Is it still relevant or dead already? Because since none of us are really talking about it, and so if they were to use it, will you recommend? That is one first question. Second question, IG Insights. Yeah. So how do they track like IG Insights? Because on IG itself, it doesn't provide as good detail as to the Facebook Insights. Yeah.
So IGTV, it's dead. The simple answer is yes, it's dead in a way. So IGTV was actually built to fight YouTube. So it was long form content but vertical format. But what happened was a lot of creators just repurposed their YouTube and then they just cut vertical. But of course, YouTube, you shoot horizontal. So a lot of the content is not native and that's why it's dead. And they tried to push a separate app but couldn't, right? So that's why Reels is the new thing and Reels is the TikTok competitor in a sense. So so now go for Reels. Don't need to look at IGTV much anymore, right? The second question was
Instagram Insights.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can just convert your Instagram page to a business page, and then you will be able to access the insights already. There's a button somewhere on your profile to access the insights.
Yeah, you have to go to setting your accounts, then you change it, to the business account, so you're able to see that. So, okay, thank you so much. And then last one, I think this one. Any question from the floor? Okay, yes. Sorry. Yeah, please.
I'm more curious.
Yeah.
Okay, perhaps any of you can just explain on one of the latest features on the subscriptions. How does that actually can benefit the content creator or seller per se? Yeah. How does it work actually? Because it's kind of a leverage for entrepreneurship platform, right? Thank you.
The creator subscription.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Features.
I've not gone into it so deep, but I'll talk about it conceptually. It's like a Patreon. So if you're from a Patreon, basically people can subscribe to you and they pay you monthly. Yeah, but I've not gone too deep into why they, because they only roll out, if I'm not wrong, in US only. I don't think it's arrived at Malaysia yet. I'm not sure if you guys.
No, it's not yet.
Yeah. So once it arrives, then we're going to.
It's a very good question. If you can ask that question, you should look into Web 3.0, like NFT and so on. Yeah, so they do a replacement like Spotify. They have a different versions, right? So it's just a tips. If you have a group of friends, students or what, they can develop codes. You can actually develop some things that owned by you. That's called Web 3.0. That's a new trend right now.
Yep. So that's where upcoming topics will be like going into the new trends. Yeah, because there are a lot of questions that people are wondering all these like new features, new updates and orders. Yeah. So any other question from the floor? No? Yes? Never mind, you can catch our speakers later. So maybe like one last, just round up, yeah? So I think very good point also. If you were to, each of the speaker, I will maybe start from Mr. Roni, yeah? So you can actually share what will be your, this is actually from the audience, but very interesting. What will be your IG motto? If you were to share to them, like IG motto, specifically, they also ask is like to convince people, maybe like to follow and all without annoying ads. I know, like, although you do a lot of ads, but maybe like just one simple IG motto for all the audience that you were to like, you know, manage your Instagram account.
This question, who asked one? I'd like to know. I'd like to see the person.
Or just one advice if they were to actually like manage their Instagram accounts well.
I mean, if you manage your Instagram account, you saw the tips and so on, is certain things might make sense, certain things might not, right? 80-20% rules, right? All these kind of things. I think what you need to do is look back what kind of services and product, because I won't know. Unless you want to talk to me one-on-one consultation, then maybe I can give you a different sides of angles and approach, right? If certain products, certain services is just so dry, right? Then you need to change your content pillar and so on. So there's no certain motto that... what I'm trying to say, maybe, okay, try not to do something content that is triggering people to scold you, maybe, perhaps. Certain things, provoking is definitely not. Don't get into politics and so on, even though you are part of it, but don't associate with your brand. I think that's one I can say. Using ugly content, then I don't know how to define ugly because creative is very subjective. But if you see that content is ugly, then it's ugly, then don't use that. I think, Jason, can you back me up on this?
Actually, the question is directed to you, you know, so I start from like all the speakers first. Okay.
What we do actually, we run a lot of conversion campaign. We drive conversion for the clients, right? There is no one, like I said, there's no magic word that knowing what creative works, what don't works. Certain creative works for these 2 weeks, then the second time, the third week we see it doesn't work already. So what we do, we always, when we run any campaign, if you're talking about run campaign, we actually use about 3 to 5 creative to test. Very similar to your organic content, the rule of thumb is still very similar because the basis is still always there. It's just that how you actually plan your content. That's all I got to say, right? That's, try not to go politic, that's what I say.
Okay, so let's move to Mr. Jason. Yeah, your advice to them, like your motto when you're running IG account.
So I think for me it would be the one-liner, short and sweet, will be actually always just think about it from a consumer point of view, right? So you talk about annoying ads, right? So if you as a consumer won't like to see this ad, then why you run the ad? Like, because you also won't like to see. So if you just think about it, even organic content as well, you got to think, is this useful to my audience? Is this useful to my consumer, right? Who's reading my page, who's looking at my page? Yeah. So just think about it from a consumer point of view.
Okay, very good. Think about it from consumer point of view. If you were to just add on from Sharvin Mesha to you just now on the question, what kind of content would you advise that is suitable for startup travel app? Trevor, sorry, on this audience, like interesting, the question. That's why I say the most.
This one is like what Ronnie said, probably need consultation.
Yeah, consultation. So very good. Yeah. So
see
we will not give you so much tips. Maybe you can start travel and taking picture.
Oh, tips there, Trevor, and taking pictures. Yeah, very good one.
Because that's what Ronnie said, it's content pillar, right? It's not just one, right? Again, if it's one, go and take picture of like different things, different sightseeing. But at the end of the day, if you want to talk about planning, then you need to think about what's the content pillar. Do you want to go the budget route? Okay, what's the cheapest flight to different places? Do you want to go the luxurious route? Do you want to go the experiential route? So all these things need to plan. Yeah, I can't give you a straight answer.
Yeah, so you go back to the drawing board again. Yeah. So anything to add on for here? Yeah, but your motto, your sharing in terms of like one advice for business owners, for people who want to manage IG.
Motto like my one, like how I said, mine is don't sell, just tell. So that's the main thing I would say. I think so. Consistent is there, and what else? Planner. That's the main thing. You have to plan. So that is the main thing where how for you to, how to get to be on your Instagram. Okay, plan before you do anything. That's the best thing. So then that's how you stay on your Instagram. That's all I have to say for the motto. Plan everything before you do.
Okay, so I think all the speakers speak about the same thing. If you listen to all, there are a lot of tools to use that where businesses need to try it out as well and test again. But the basic goes back to content. So what Instagram that people like about content as well. I think there's one more that actually just someone answer the question already. Speaking about IG Insights, again, the IG Insights that is on IG platform itself, they still don't think it is as detailed as the Facebook Business Manager. So is there any other, or the best is actually to look from Facebook Business Manager for detailed data?
My face got technical.
Too technical also, is it?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Facebook Insight will not have that much. You can use Business Manager to look into it, but it's not as detailed as Facebook. The reason is just restriction by Facebook itself, which is Meta. Right now, they changed the name. So you can subscribe a platform, but it will be too much for your businesses. So I would suggest you to subscribe like Social Bakers and so on. Unfortunately, there's limitation towards Instagram Insight. So what you need to do is, even though you have full insight, you only get like additional things, but it doesn't really derive much. If you want to get more insight, run ads.
So yeah, definitely. So again, on the platforms, the ads is very important. So, but for all the audience, if you are looking for like more advice, as spoken also, don't leave the comments unattended. So I will urge all the speakers to check out CDEC live comments as well. So if there are some of the questions that directed to you that you feel like answering, you can connect with the audience as well. So same goes to all the audience. There are some of the profiles of our speakers that you can actually try to connect with the speakers. Yeah. So to follow up in terms of like maybe business connection, more consultation. Yeah. So that we take it offline. All right. So once again, we thanks all our speakers for today for sharing all us such an insightful experience as well as knowledge in terms of IG. Yeah. Once again, please put your hands together and thank you for our speakers. All right. Yeah. So have a sit first. We'll take a group picture together with the physical audience. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, some of you are still asking questions. As I mentioned, I will encourage our speakers to be on the comments to check out some of the questions that are being posted there. All right. And some of you are actually asking about Google. I saw because speaker talking about like Google keywords as well. So some of you are asking about Google Business Manager. Some of you are asking about like TikTok marketing as well. So which will be the next week topic? Okay. For those audience. So next week will be topic about Google marketing as well as TikTok marketing. So if you're interested, do sign up on CDEC website as well as CDEC Facebook. You can check out on the events. Join us physically or online. We'll start at 10 to 12 as well as the afternoon 2 to 4. All right. So once again, thank you for online audience. For those that are joining us next week, I will see you next week. And for physical audience, once again, thank you. And there will be refreshment outside for all of you. All right. See you. Bye-bye.